Welcome to another episode of Lifelong Learner. This is the Out of Class edition with Ben, Janesh, and Matt. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lifelong Learner, Out of Class edition. Welcome, Ben. How we doing?
Bye, really good. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise. So, in Melbourne, we just had a long weekend, but mate, more importantly, mate, you just competed over the weekend, and there's been listeners. We've heard the journey of this, of the calories and the food and all that. But mate, tell me, how was it?
Mate, it's been, it was two parts to this, really. There really is the journey. There really is the journey to getting to the competition. Is like when I got to the comp, I realised even more than ever how much it is the journey. And it's like, it really is like running a marathon is not the finish line. It's not like when you cross the finish line, that's the marathon. The marathon is the 42 Ks, all right? And so when you compete in Mr. Universe, yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Universe. When you compete in Mr. Universe, it is the year. And I mean, probably, if you were to condense it down, it is the 14 to 16 weeks of prep that goes into getting your body ready to go on stage, which is the cutting phase. So there's this building, you build the thing, and then you've got to cut away, chisel away everything to reveal what's underneath, right? And that's a 14-week-ish process. Right, so just reflecting on that, like really that's been an amazing journey. And then the peak week, which is this super special week where you do it's like polishing, like you've chiseled away the fat and the fluid, and then there's this polishing that happens in this final week. And if you haven't, created the basic structure, then you're just polishing a turd. So the polishing doesn't really work. But if you've got something, the polishing makes a difference. And so there's this crazy, incredible process of polishing that happens in this what we call peak week, which culminates, on the Friday. And then you go to bed Friday night and you wake up Saturday morning and that's it. This is it. You're now like literally meters away from the finish line. And so that's what it was on Saturday. So on Saturday, I stepped on stage for the Omara Classic, which is a pre-qualifying event over in Perth. And I stepped on in that competition on first timers, and then in men's physique masters over 50. I got a fourth place in first timers, and I got a first place in the Omara Classic for men's physique over 50. Then, and so that was all done by 10:30, which was amazing on Saturday. So then it's, back for more eggs and rice. So I had meal prep all organised for Friday, but on Saturday and Sunday, I didn't know what I was going to need as far as calories, because you're still trying to perfect that each day. So I was competing on Sunday. So we got a microwave delivered to the room, microwaving eggs, scrambled eggs, ladies and gentlemen, in the microwave. Really good. Do yourself a favour. It's a great way to scramble eggs. So eggs and rice. More of that nonsense for Saturday. Not much water. Again, you're trying to stay dry. And then on Sunday morning, stepped on stage in the morning for pre-judging for Mr. Universe in men's physique masters over 50. And then you get off stage and you go and eat some more eggs and rice. Not much water. And then you're back in the afternoon for the routines. You get on stage and there's now an audience. There's always an audience, but this is the official kind of audience part, the show bit, where they also then give the awards, the placings. And second, men's physique, masters over 50, second place.
Mate.
Which is Oh, I'll be honest.
I can tell you're a little bit shattered, mate. I was about to say, congratulations, but you sound and you look shattered.
I am. Shattered is not the word. Disappointed. Disappointed is. I last year I just competed for fun, just for just up and do,
yeah,
crazy. And last year I got a second in Mr. Universe men's over 50, and this year I was 5 kilos heavier in muscle. And I was 4.7% body fat.
Yeah, that's crazy.
4.7. And I thought, so a little disappointing.
Was the competition harder this year? Or what do you think? What was the field like?
No. Look, the reality is you have seven judges.
Okay.
And O'Mara, there's 7 judges. And then they changed the judges over. So for Universe, it's an international comp. Omar is a national IFBB.
Yep.
Universe is an international IFBB. And so they have international judges come because they hand out pro cards. And each judge has its own, they have their own kind of things. There's some rules around men's physique, like what you've got to look for. Like you don't look at thighs. You can't look at the person's thighs because it's irrelevant in men's physique. It's basically waist up that you're looking at. Well, it's not basically, it is waist up. And there's one aspect of my physique that is not awesome, and that's my abs. So I'm lean, but I just don't have big abs, those big kind of rigged abs. And so, and the guy that got first, he was not as big, but he had the 6-pack look.
Yeah, okay.
The ribs. So I just need to get that. And, there's a whole saying that abs are made in the kitchen. They're not. You reveal them in the kitchen, but if they're not there, doesn't matter how much kitchen you do.
You've done a lot of kitchen, mate.
I did a lot of kitchen. You've done a lot of kitchen. So I just, my abs are laid. If you don't have abs, yes, they're revealed in the kitchen, but they're built by lifting heavy. So the abs are just like a bicep. They don't get bigger if you don't put them under strain. And so sit-ups aren't enough. There's not enough strain. Leg raises aren't enough. So I've been doing weighted crunches, but I just need to smash my abs over the next 6 months to build them. So anyway, so that was Universe, and then all wrapped up, all finished, and
So is it too soon to ask what's next?
Oh no! What is next is no competition next year. That is what's next. No competition next year. So continue to build and refine and play. There's so much to learn, and I've learned so much over 2 years of this process, and and it's just again for the listeners. What you see on Instagram and what you see on the cover of magazines and back when there were magazines, remember the days of magazines, is so manufactured. And I'm not talking Photoshop. I'm talking, it's such a manufactured process to create that look that is a snapshot in time.
It's like like a pinnacle point, right? It's like a fleeting moment. It's a fleeting moment that's captured.
Those guys that you see the photos, those photos are old photos. So get in shape, I take a shitload of photos and then slowly release those photos over time, right? The men's bodybuilding mags we all used to read, and those guys have literally just come off stage. They've gone, put them in a gym, made them look a bit sweaty, and made it look like that's just kind of how they train every day when they're at the gym. That is not how they look, I can assure you. Because I've come back and 2 days of eating like a normal person, just like a normal person would eat. 2 days. I'm up 3.5 kilos. Now, it's not fat
No.
at all, zero.
Yeah.
There's zero increase in fat. But 3.5 kilos of fluid
Yep. Fluid
that
retention.
goes back on. And that's an overcompensation of my body because it was over dry, so it tends to overcompensate for 3 or 4 days. And that'll come off, and I'll probably go up maybe 1.5 kilos worth of fluid. But it'll soften my look. It won't be that crisp, hard, veiny look that, is the image that people want. And so, and why am I telling you this? Because what's in store is I want to maintain a look. I want to maintain a look. That's the next goal. How do I make this sustainable? This a version of the look.
A version of the look, and also my question with that is what lifestyle do you want to go with that look?
That's exactly.
Yeah, that's a hard one, right? Like like you can maintain that look, easy. You can maintain that look, piece of piss. But mate, we're coming into summer. You and Michelle like to entertain, have people over. There's things on. We're going into the silly season. Like, there's also the it's okay, I'm not going to eat. I brought my own food. Or like all of that. Or go, no, it's okay. I ate quickly in the car. And there's a lifestyle too. And we're either, it's not even balanced. It's like, well, which direction do you want to go in? Maintain that and lifestyle, or maintain that and not just an alter lifestyle? What is it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, one of the things that, mate, to be honest, both Michelle and I, we couldn't wait to get home to get back to cooking our ritual food, right? Meal prep. So this morning I've started, my banana and egg white pancake. I've just had it.
Yep.
And it was so good. In many, many ways, but so good knowing I knew exactly what the macros and calories are in that.
Yep.
And so therefore I'll know what my calories are going to sit at today and my macros are going to sit at today. And the second thing that happens is there is so much energy we put into thinking about food. I reckon when you're in ritual, which is where my point's about to go, is I spend less time thinking about food because my meals are all prepared. The food decisions are made for me. So many people get up and go, will I eat that croissant or not today? Will I have breakfast before I leave or not have breakfast today? What do I feel like for breakfast? Morning tea, lunch, and on the process goes. What are we having for dinner tonight? Oh, you get it. No, I'll get it. Well, what do you feel like? All of that.
Yeah.
When you're organised, when you do meal prep, when you have an eating plan, there is no decisions to be made. And you have so much freed mental space and time. So energy and time just becomes so free. And that's been one of the things that I've absolutely loved about this journey over the last couple of years. And so while now the comp's over, I can't wait to get back into that. So I spent a chunk of time this morning planning out my calories and macros moving forward through to Christmas, how it's going to look. And
so talk
one of the
through,
things
talk us through that planning process. What do you look at?
Yeah, okay. So this is a really simple, and it doesn't need to become more complicated than this. You decide you need to know what your baseline calorie consumption is for the day, assuming you don't do kind of any fancy exercise, just your normal regular calorie consumption. And you can go online, and there's heaps of calorie calculators online based on your age, your weight, your height, your level of general exercise. It can tell you ballpark how many calories you need to just maintain yourself throughout the day. So you work out what that is, and you go, that's if I want to maintain my current weight, I just got to keep eating that. So in my case, 2,400 calories. If I just keep eating 2,400 calories every day, I'll stay the same weight. So that's the first thing I work out. The second thing I work out is then how much protein do I need in that, so the macros. And I simply go 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. So if I weigh 75, I need 150 grams of protein. And then the rest is all carbohydrates. Because I know I'm going to get some fats in my meat, in my protein. I know I'm going to get some fats when I'm cooking. I'm going to, spray the pan with some olive oil. There'll be some oil come through there. So I'll get enough fats just from cooking and from the protein sources. And then, so the rest is just then going to be carbohydrates. And so really, and again, when it comes to protein, it's 4 calories per gram of protein. And in carbohydrates, the same. There's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate. So you can do some really simple math. Tells you how many carbs you need. And that's it. And then you make sure you get your carbohydrates from whole food sources. Grains, root veg, leafy veg, really, really simple. And so my plan is to carb cycle. So there's another layer. So 3 days a week, I'm going to eat maintenance calories at 2,400. 1 day a week, 2 days a week, I drop to low calories, so 1,900. So the days that I don't train, I'll cut back my calories through cutting back carbohydrates. And then 2 days a week, I'll increase my calories by 500 calories. So the average over the week is 2,400, 2 low days and 2 high days. And the 2 high days are Saturday and Friday.
Smart.
So they're the days that allow me to go out and do a pasta on a Friday night, blah, blah, blah. But for all the listeners, again, people may have heard of cheat meals. And unfortunately, many cheat meals consist of pizza, fatty, nasty, fatty stuff. And that's where, if you do a couple of cheat meals, like a Friday, Saturday night, and they're high fat content, you go the Parma, which is a deep fried, battered kind of threaded bit of chicken with cheese and bacon and God knows what else, and a serve of deep fried chips. Man, you could smash your calories for the entire week.
For the week.
And you only got to be like, 1,000 calories over for the week. And 1,000 calories is 100 grams of fat you've just put on your body. You do that 10 weeks in a row, 10 weeks later, you're a kilo up in fat on the body. Yeah. So, and so just, you don't have to be ridiculous about it, but you do need to know what you're eating. People guess. And part of that guessing process, again, Janesh, is don't guess how much you're actually eating. Weigh it. It's frightening. A 300 gram piece of steak is very different beast to a 200 gram piece of steak. And you go to the butcher shop and you look at the food in the tray, the meat in the tray, and you go, "Oh, I'll have one of those." Well, what is that you've just picked up? Is it a 350 gram? Is there a lot of fat in that one today, or is there a little bit of fat in that one today? Because there's 9 calories per gram of fat. There's only 4 calories per gram of protein. So a fatty piece of steak is very different to a not fatty bit of steak when it comes to the amount of calories.
Calorie intake, yeah.
And so these are the little boo-boos that we all kind of make. And it's not that we're lying to ourselves about what we're eating. We actually just don't know what we're eating.
But it's also just the age-old saying of, even in business, to know your numbers, right? Know your numbers with your food. Know what you're doing. Like, people are very kind of anal on their numbers, their revenue, their marketing, all of that. But then what they consume, like in terms of food and fuel, don't know their numbers, right?
People wear these things, these heart rate trackers and sports watches, and they record their run and how many kilometers and how fast it was and how many calories they burn. Great. And yes, I guess you can influence those numbers by running a bit further or running a bit faster. But apart from that, what these things track on you by the end of the day is outside of your influence. What is inside your influence is what you eat. And that, as you say, people aren't tracking.
Why do you think
They're not measuring.
Most people don't want it, don't want to know, or they don't know?
But they don't know. They don't know they can.
Do you think?
People weigh ingredients when they make a cake.
Yeah, but they don't. But if they don't weigh their rice and vegetables and their meat when they're cooking a stir fry dinner.
No, but you should.
Yeah,
you should.
You
don't have to always do it. You don't have to always do it, but eventually you go, oh, that's 150 grams of rice. Because 150 grams of rice is different to 200 grams. Very different. They're very different things. And so, I think it is. I think in fact, for the listeners out there, if you've never weighed your food, just do it for just a day, 2 days. Just weigh. Maybe use a calorie calculator, maybe something like MyFitnessPal, and you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised when you put the numbers in. So that's part of my lifestyle, and it's really easy. There's probably listeners going, "Oh, that's madness, weighing your rice," but it's actually really easy, and it creates consistency in your food. So I cooked this morning, my breakfast and my morning tea, and I'll tell you, my breakfast is 1 egg, 140 grams of egg white, which you can buy egg whites in a container. It is 40 grams of oats and 1 banana. And I know the calories in that, and I know the macros in that. Yeah. And then my morning tea is 1 egg, 120 grams of egg white, beaten up, microwaved into some scrambled eggs, on 150 grams of rice, with a squeeze of sriracha, which is 10 grams of sriracha mayo. And I know exactly the calories and macros in that. And it took me 15 minutes to cook both of those things and weigh them.
Yeah.
And weigh them.
Not long at all.
I know exactly what I'm eating, and it's all whole foods. It's super healthy. And so what will happen is, because today's first day back, this afternoon, I'll cook all those morning teas, those scrambled eggs and rices for the week. So that's all. So 4 containers get laid out, scoop 150 grams of rice in each of them. So easy. I'll cook a big batch of those scrambled eggs in the fry pan this time instead, cut that into quarters, a quarter of that in each of them, put the lid on, into the fridge. That'll take me, Janesh, it will take me 8 minutes to prepare those 4 meals.
That's pretty good.
And in the fridge. And then tomorrow when I get up, I'll make my pancake thing, which is my first meal today, because it's nice to have that fresh. And the second meal, I just grab out of the fridge and I go. So, and I know exactly the calories. It's all weighed. It's actually really easy.
So listeners, you need to go get yourself a food scale. Go get yourself a food scale.
Yeah. And grab the MyFitnessPal app. You don't have to buy the paid version.
So from your summation, what was your biggest lesson from this second time round, and now moving into a phase of maintaining and at not the cost of lifestyle, right? Yes, lifestyle may alter, but alter in terms of because you want it to, but not at, sometimes you're like, during certain seasons, your priorities have changed. So you're like, this is more than that, but I do actually like that. Other part of lifestyle. And you go, well, in this maintaining phase and maintaining the lifestyle that you want to, what's kind of biggest lesson so far?
Well, back to the competition. the biggest lesson or the learning or the realization I've had is that those competitors that step on stage in bodybuilding, and I don't say this for myself, mate, they have done some really hard work. I was chatting to a guy that's done multiple Ironman. He lives up over in Bustleton, which is kind of the Ironman capital of Australia, right over there, over in WA. He was 62 for completing men's bodybuilding masters over 60. And he's done multiple of those, done heaps of marathons and triathlons and
like two different sports though, right? They're the two different types of training too. Like
totally different, right?
And one doesn't actually help the other one.
He was doing those, and something happened, and he got exposed to bodybuilding, and then went deep on bodybuilding, and turned himself around and became a bodybuilder. And I was saying, we're talking about something or other, and I said, mate, how do you manage it in your 60s? And, he goes, mate, it's all just what we were talking about, right? Rituals and routines. And he said, but mate, this is really hard work. He said, training for a show like this, way harder than an Ironman.
Yeah, wow.
Way harder. He said, this is bodybuilding, way harder than doing an Ironman. Way harder. That was my realization. This is a really all-in sport. This is what he said. Mm-hmm. He said you cannot slip up at all in bodybuilding. This is something you think about 24/7 when you're leading up to a show. This is that 14 weeks that I was talking about. It's all consuming, and that's why I'm not doing another one, because it is all consuming. There is no space left for other things. Like it's just you're sleeping, you're eating, you're training, you're cardioing, and yeah, it comes at a price to other aspects of your life. Relationships get strained, business gets strained, hobbies get strained. Like everything has to be put to the second place, and so that applies to bodybuilding, but it applies to so many aspects of our life. If you want to be successful at it, it's hard work, and you've got to be all in.
Mm-hmm. If you're not going to
dip your toe in the water. You can't. Got to be all in. So that's my take home out of this is anything that is really worth it. As my son said, he said, Dad, what place do you reckon the average person comes in a bodybuilding comp?
They don't.
I said, no, I don't know. He goes, Dad, average people don't do bodybuilding comps.
Mm-hmm. They don't show up. They don't do the work to show up, right?
Yeah. So, and that's true for, when it comes to average relationships, people have, average relationships, not epic ones. They have average businesses, not epic ones. They have average jobs, not epic jobs. They make average money, not epic money. This is just, unfortunately, people's life is, you've got to be all in.
And you got to do the work. I think kind of hearing this conversation, my takeaway is you got to do the work. You got to do the work, and you got to be willing to do the work too, right? And then I think there's a part of it. I think we talked about the journey a few weeks back that you got to. The only way to sustain that is that you fall in love with that work and you go, all right, the work is enjoyable. It's not the destination. It's like, okay, but you can't expect it to come without putting the work in or willing to do the work in at all.
Yeah. Anything worth anything is just hard work.
It is.
Damn it.
It is. I know. Only if it could come easy, Ben. Only if.
Yeah.
Only.
Well, and again, that's the saying, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
True. Very true.
Everybody would be a bodybuilder. Everyone would have a great physique. Everyone would have a great relationship. Everyone would have a lot of money. And it's just not reality.
That's the way it is.
Mate, we've talked about me a lot. We've talked about dieting, and I know we've got to wrap up.
We do.
I think that's probably not a bad place to wrap up. But is there anything you to finish off with for our listeners before?
No, that was it. I think that was, you kind of summarized it. Summarized, I should say. That if you want something, you just got to put the work in. You just got to put the work in. And know it's going to be hard. Don't bitch and moan and go, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, this is hard. Like, shit. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to put the late nights in or the early mornings or the, say no to certain things or go and just be disciplined. And you just got up because if you want it, you can't. You got to put the work in for sure.
That's good, man. Well, good session today. Listeners, have a great week. Weigh your food.
Weigh your food and put in the work. Thank you for listening to another episode of A Lifelong Learner. If you love this episode, please share this episode and subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and on YouTube. And if you want to say hello, send us an email at hello@lifelonglearnerpodcast.com. Thank you again.